Have you ever stopped to wonder about the future of our planet? This isn't just a philosophical question, but a pressing matter that demands our attention. We find ourselves on a planet at crossroads, a crucial juncture where the decisions we make today will determine the fate of our world tomorrow. At the heart of this crossroads is climate change, a complex phenomenon that's reshaping our Earth, altering weather patterns, melting polar ice, and threatening biodiversity. And yet, despite its significance, climate change is often misunderstood, dismissed as a distant problem rather than a present crisis. The reality is, climate change is not just about polar bears or melting glaciers. It's about our homes, our health, our economy. It's about the air we breathe, the food we eat, the world we leave for our children. To navigate this crossroad, we must first understand the science behind climate change. Imagine our Earth as a large greenhouse. This isn't far from the truth, you see. Much like a greenhouse, our planet has a natural way of keeping itself warm, a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. Let's take a moment to understand this. Picture a greenhouse filled with plants. As sunlight streams in, it gets absorbed by the plants, the soil, and the structure of the greenhouse itself. Some of this sunlight is reflected back as heat, but the glass walls and roof of the greenhouse trap most of it, keeping the environment inside warm and cozy for the plants. Now let's think of our planet in the same way. The Earth receives sunlight, which it absorbs and then reflects back as heat. But not all of this heat escapes back into space. Some of it gets trapped by certain gases in our atmosphere, much like the glass walls of a greenhouse. These gases, aptly named greenhouse gases, include carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, among others. Here's where things get a bit tricky. You see, the greenhouse effect isn't a bad thing in itself. In fact, without it, our planet would be a chilly negative 18 degrees Celsius on average, rather inhospitable for life as we know it. The greenhouse effect is essential for keeping our planet warm enough to support life. The problem arises when there is too much of these greenhouse gases. Human activities, such as burning fossil fuels for energy and deforestation, are increasing the concentration of these gases in our atmosphere. This leads to more heat being trapped, causing the Earth's average temperature to rise, a phenomenon we know as global warming. So in essence, our planet is getting warmer because of an overabundance of these greenhouse gases. This, dear listeners, is the crux of the issue we are facing today. An issue we must address if we wish to preserve our beautiful blue planet for generations to come. But how do we know all this? Well, the evidence is all around us, and it's been meticulously gathered and analyzed by scientists worldwide. Let's peel back the layers of data that reveal the undeniable truth of climate change. First, we have rising global temperatures. In the past century alone, the Earth's average temperature has increased by more than 1 degree Celsius. Now, this might not seem like much on the surface, but consider this. If you were to heat a pot of water by just 1 degree, it wouldn't boil instantly. However, over time, that small increase in heat can bring the water to a rolling boil. That's what we're seeing with our global climate. A slow, steady increase that's having a profound impact on our planet. Next, we have the melting ice caps. Our polar regions are literally shrinking before our eyes. Satellite images over the past few decades show a drastic reduction in the size of the Arctic ice cap. This isn't just a problem for polar bears and penguins. As the ice melts, it raises sea levels, threatening coastal communities around the world. And then there are the shifting animal migration patterns. Birds are arriving at their summer homes earlier each year. Bees are changing their pollination patterns, and fish are moving to colder waters. These shifts can disrupt entire ecosystems with ripple effects that touch every corner of our planet. But it's not just about the animals. Changes in weather patterns are causing more frequent and severe droughts, storms, and heat waves, affecting agriculture, health, and economies globally. All these pieces of evidence taken together form a picture that's hard to ignore. Our world is changing, and the fingerprints of climate change are everywhere. We're not talking about a theory or a prediction here. We're talking about observable, measurable facts. Climate change isn't something that might happen in the future. It's happening right now in real time, and we're all living through it. The evidence is clear. Our planet is changing, and we need to act. What happens if we don't act now? This question is not just hypothetical. It's a stark reality that we need to confront. Let's consider the potential consequences of climate change on 3 major fronts: the environment, our health, and the economy. Firstly, the environment. As global temperatures rise, we face a cascade of ecological shifts. Ice caps are melting at an unprecedented rate, leading to rising sea levels. This threatens coastal habitats and cities. Moreover, warmer temperatures can disrupt wildlife, altering migration patterns and food chains, and potentially leading to mass species extinction. Secondly, our health. Warmer climates can increase the spread of vector-borne diseases such as malaria and dengue. Heat waves can cause heat strokes and dehydration, particularly among the elderly and vulnerable populations. Air pollution from increased wildfires can lead to respiratory illnesses like asthma and bronchitis. Lastly, the economy. Climate change can have a profound impact on industries such as agriculture, fisheries and tourism. Droughts and erratic weather patterns can lead to crop failures and food shortages. Rising sea temperatures can decimate marine life, affecting the livelihoods of communities dependent on fishing. Extreme weather events like hurricanes and floods can cause billions of dollars in damages, straining economies and displacing people. These aren't just doomsday predictions, they're the logical outcomes. If we continue on our current path, the stakes are high and the time to act is now. Taking action isn't just about preventing these worst-case scenarios. It's about creating a better, more sustainable world for all of us. The consequences of inaction are dire, but there's still hope. We have the knowledge, the tools, and the collective will to turn things around. It's up to us to make the right choices for our planet's future. What can we do to change the course of our planet's future? A question many of us often ponder, but it's not a rhetorical one. Rather, it's a call to action, a call to each and every one of us. This is where the power of action comes into play. As individuals, we can make choices that have a real impact. We can choose to reduce, reuse, and recycle. We can choose to drive less and walk or bike more. We can choose to buy local produce, which not only supports our local economy, but also reduces the carbon footprint associated with transporting goods over long distances. Our homes and workplaces can also be transformed into bastions of sustainability. By adopting renewable energy sources like solar and wind power, we can break free from our reliance on fossil fuels. Planting trees and creating green spaces not only absorb carbon dioxide, but they also enhance our environments, making them healthier, happier places to live and work. But the power of action isn't just about individual choices. It's also about working together as communities. Neighborhoods can organize cleanup days, schools can implement environmental education programs, and businesses can strive for green certifications. And then there are our governments. They hold significant power to enact policies that promote renewable energy, protect natural habitats, and regulate industries to reduce pollution. They can invest in public transport, encourage sustainable farming, and fund research into new technologies that could revolutionize our approach to energy and waste. But for governments to take action, they need to hear our voices. So let's use our power as citizens to vote for leaders who prioritize the environment, to lobby for policies that protect our planet, and to raise awareness about the urgent need for action. Remember, every action, no matter how small, contributes to a larger movement, a movement that can change the course of our planet's future. And it starts with each of us, making choices today that will shape tomorrow. Because in the end, the future of our planet is in our hands. And now that you understand the science of climate change, what will you do? Knowledge is power, but it is only the first step. The next, perhaps the most crucial, is action. Our planet urgently needs us to step up, to make changes in our lives that can help curb this global crisis. Start with educating others. Share the knowledge you've gained, make the science of climate change a common conversation. It's through understanding that we can inspire collective action. Next, look at your own carbon footprint. Can you walk more and drive less? Could you reduce, reuse, recycle a little more? Even small changes, when made by many, can have a huge impact. Finally, use your voice to support policies that combat climate change. Advocate for renewable energy, sustainable farming, and green technology. Make the choice today to be part of the solution for the sake of our planet and future generations, because our actions today will shape the world of tomorrow.